know which part of London is the setting for Minder? And what was the surname of the Flintstones' next-door neighbours? The answers to these and other questions are on... We Love TV. And here with all the answers is Gloria Honeyford.
Good evening and welcome to our College of TV Knowledge. Now, I can guarantee you the exams won't be too difficult tonight, so I hope you'll join in at home and play along with our teams here in the studio. Now, our first celebrity guest is a lady whose work we've loved and admired many times on We Love TV, so I'm delighted to welcome her in the flesh. Hallelujah! It's Miss Thora Hird. I don't see the tambourine, Thora, but who's this fellow you got with you?
Well, this fellow I have with me is a very clever one. Praise be. I'm so glad. Chris is an advertising sales assistant from Leighton, and he's a soap opera expert.
A fanatic, even.
But he's a fanatic, but he's an expert.
Well, it's not a soap opera question I have for you at the beginning.
Okay.
In fact, we heard it in the titles there, Chris. Which part of London is the setting for Minder?
Fulham in South London.
Oh, you know all. Absolutely right. You don't get any points, mind you, but nevertheless.
Oh,
Now, when we phoned up our next celebrity guest, he said, well, the price is right. I'll come on down. Guess who? Joining contestants row, it's Leslie Crowther. I have saved all the difficult ones for you tonight, Leslie. So what's it like facing the questions for a change?
£89.
Well, now that the truth is out, Leslie, tell me who Jill really is.
Jill Hughes, if my memory serves me right, yes. She's a Lancashire lass, a mother of two, which is quite young to be a mother, and she worked it out on the way home, and she is a demonstrator for a very well-known firm that I'm not allowed to mention, but the initials are St. Ivel.
Oh, terrific. There's no way I'll top an introduction like that. So let me ask you that second question that you heard at the beginning of the programme. What is the name of the Flintstones' neighbours?
Barney Rubble.
Rubble, a pile of rubble. Yes, that will do very well indeed. Yeah, so we're off with the game proper, as it were. And this year, of course, is the 40th anniversary of VE Day, the end of the war in Europe. Now, those of us who are much too young to remember all the details of the war will know more about it, indeed, than any other historic event, mostly thanks to television.
I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been...
I would imagine there'll be a few parties like that during this 40th year, and of course all the celebrations to come later. Well, in this case, it's first to your buzzers, 5 points for each correct answer. So if you're ready, your fingers on your ding-a-lings, off we'll go. Tenko was the story of a group of women captured by the Japanese and their subsequent escape to Singapore. But what does Tenko mean? Thora.
Roll call.
Roll call, yes. It's the Japanese for roll call. Hasso, as they would say. 5 points you get. Enemy at the Door was about a German occupation, but of where? Leslie.
The Channel Islands.
Correct. You get your marks. The Channel Islands is the right answer. And one of the stars of Enemy at the Door was Simon Cadell. Here he is, obviously picking up a few tips for running a holiday camp. A lunatic asylum in what is now East Germany was rebuilt at Ealing for a war series. What was the series? Leslie.
You know that, don't you?
Of course I did.
You thought you did?
Of course I did.
Well, whisper it to me. Oh, we're not asking for her, are we?
No, you're
No.
not.
No.
I think it's Thingy Castle.
Which is called?
Colditz.
Colditz. You do get your 5 points. The castle is now a mental hospital, just for the record.
Is it really?
In The Winds of War, Robert Mitchum played an American naval hero. What was the character's nickname?
Oh.
Leslie.
Lug. Chug.
Something like that.
Doug. Pug.
Well, I'm going to penalise you, actually. I don't often do this, but you took a lot of time. You pressed your button, and then you didn't really give me the answer very quickly. I'm going to let Thora have 5 points. I shouldn't, but in actual fact, they got Pug first. So,
Do you know that marvellous criticism that Robert Mitchum got? You know, when he went through that entire series without betraying any acting ability at all, and they actually, one paper actually said that he'd stopped acting. He just pointed his suit at people.
well, with those few kind comments about Robert Mitchum, we will go on to your final question in this section. Family at War was about the tribulations of a working-class family in what city? Thora.
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Do you remember the name of the family?
No.
That's all right. You get your points anyway.
The Ashton family.
The Ashtons, 5 very good points. And we recap the scores at the end of that round. Leslie and Jill have 10, and Chris and Thora have gone into the lead with 15. We're going to stay with nostalgia because I have a clip coming up from a wartime film. But have a look and see who is this stunning young lady.
What do you have?
No, these are on me. I'm hostess here.
Beer, then, please. The same here.
2 beers and a shandy, please.
I love the hair, Thora. Smashing.
I must tell you, Gloria, I was 7 stones 3 in those days, but my husband was in the RAF for 6 years, and he saw that film 18 times because, you know, it was a Careless Talk Cost Lives film. And they were making them go to see it in the end, and he was saying, you know, I do miss you, but I don't want to see that.
Do you remember precisely what that film was called?
When they did well.
No, in fact, it was Next of Kin.
Next of Kin, you're right.
And it was made in 19...
Yes,
you made actually a whole string of them, didn't you, in 1942,
yeah,
sort of propaganda films.
Yeah, we all made them for £10 a day.
I thought you made some too, Leslie.
No. It was at school.
we will leave that, yes. I think a lot of you may well be surprised to find out that there are some gentlemen within the television industry who dress in women's clothes. And what's even worse, one of them is in our midst tonight. You look very fetching there, Leslie. The secret is out. In all fairness, though, I should tell you that Leslie was recreating the crazy gang there for television in the television show Bud and Chaz. But let's take a look at some more beauties, some sirens of the small screen.
Hey, do you know, Ed, I'm going...
The next time I see Keith Barron, I must ask him where he gets his frocks. But what we've done this time, we've given each team a little bit of script that we've made up specially for the occasion. Now, you'll find your scripts underneath the pad there. Have you got them? Good. Yeah. Because it's going to be a conversation between men, but obviously they are dressed up or known for being women on television. So it's Thora and Chris to actually do it, first of all. Leslie and Jill have to work out the 2 ladies that we're talking about.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a good man.
Oh, damn me, silly possum. Think of all the terrible trouble I've had with my Norm and his prostate.
Pardon?
Just waving Gladys in the air.
Oh, you are awful, but I like you.
I'll give you 5 points, Leslie and Jill, for each lady.
Go on, then.
Dame Edna Everage.
Is 1.
Dick Emery.
Absolutely. 10 points you get. Very well played. I don't know whether Chris will get his equity card or not, but however. Leslie and Jill, your turn now to act out your little scene.
You'll get plenty of offers, I'll tell you that for instance. Right. Put the piano down, dear, and drink your sherry.
I'm sorry, dear. I'm worried about the Stackton Trestle annual fete.
Oh, have we burnt our homemade elderflower jam again?
No, but I do draw the line at your idea of Vickers tarts and tug of war.
And it's all done in the best possible taste.
Chris and Thora, I should have said that there are 3 women in there. So did you get all 3?
Oh, well... We think it's Hinge and Brackett and Kenny Everett.
Absolutely right. Yes, you get 10 good points. Very good. That was excellent. I enjoyed that. Right. The last time I saw Thora, actually, prior to this show, was on stage with the Salvation Army. We were singing carols at Christmas. This was my Prezi. And you got your 10 points in the nick of time before we go to the commercial break. It makes it very interesting because there really are only 15 points between Leslie and Jill and Chris and Thora. Yeah. And as we go to the commercial break, we always like to leave you with a little bit of a teaser. And remember, it's the connection that we're looking for. This week, it's very simple. Here's a photograph of 4 people. I'd like you to work out the connection, and I'll give you the answer right after the break.